What's up, everybody? My name is Key Air, and you are watching The Important Things That Really Matter. Today, we're going to be talking about a very interesting subject. And the subject is called, Ladies, there is no such thing as a girl code. Ladies, there's no such thing as a girl code. So, before we get into it, would you please like, would you please share, would you please subscribe, and let's get into it. All right. Woo, brother. My question to you, ladies, is this, and I'm just trying to tell you this because I care for you. I love you. I want to see you all do well. I put out a lot of videos which may be slanted towards men, but also slanted towards women also too. And let me give you an example. I put out a video series talking about what men should look for in a wife. Now, if you are really and truly looking to be a wife and your mother or your auntie has not taken time out to teach you how to be a wife or to teach you how to be a lady, or everybody makes the assumption that the mothers and the aunties have taught the daughters these things, and that is a wrong assumption because we see so many ladies out here, a lot of ladies out here that are not acting like ladies. There are a lot of ladies out here that's involved with men they never should have been involved with. There's a lot of ladies out here that if they were to get married, the marriage would not last long because their mothers may not have taught them how to be a wife. So even though many of my videos tend to be slanted towards males, a lot of my videos apply to males and females also too. And so if you're trying to make improvements in yourself, I suggest you look through some of my videos, such as the videos that talk about what to look for in a wife, so you can see what is required of a wife and are these things that you want to do if you want to be a wife. And now there are women out there that may not want to be a wife, and that's good. I mean, you can be out there and be out there by yourself. There's a lot of things involved with being a wife. It's a lot of hard work. Okay, you gotta not only be a wife, but be a mother and things along those particular lines. So anyway, so let's get into, there's no such thing as a girl code. All right, why do some women think there is a girl code when it really isn't? And the reason why there's no girl code is because if you all had such a very strong active girl code with each other, and girl, don't say nothing, don't tell nobody what I did on a girl's trip, don't tell nobody what you did on spring break with other men, even though you got a husband at home and you got a boyfriend at home, don't tell nobody. I'm just telling you right now, there's no such thing as a girl code. One of the reasons I like to say that is because if there was such a thing as a girl code, a lot of you all women's girlfriends would not be trying to sleep with your boyfriends. A lot of your girlfriends would not be trying to sleep with your boyfriends if you had a girl code. A lot of your female girlfriends would not be trying to sleep with your husbands if there was a girl code. A lot of your blood relative sisters, you might have a sister. There was a situation I was in where it was like the sister was hitting on me, the blood sister. You hear me? Blood sister was hitting on me while I was dating this woman's sister. The woman was sitting there hitting on me, trying to get me to fall with her. Okay? So what I'm saying in a nutshell is that you don't have a girl code when even your own blood sister might be trying to sleep with your boyfriend, or your own blood sister may be trying to sleep with your husband. Okay? And I've seen at least 2 or 3 videos where a woman found out that her mother was screwing around with, sleeping with her boyfriend. Let me say that again. I've seen at least 2 or 3 videos where the daughter found out that her own mother was sleeping with the woman's boyfriend. I mean, screwing around with the guy. At least 2 or 3 different videos. So what is the point that I'm making, ladies? The point I'm making is this, once again, as I stated from the beginning of this video, is this. You have no girl code. There's no such thing as a girl code if your girlfriend, if your blood sister, if your mother is willing to sleep with your boyfriend or your husband. You have no girl code. And so all the women that you may consider are my girlfriends, they might be hindering you. They might be hindering you tremendously, because I know situations where a woman may have missed out on one or more husbands by the girlfriends that she was around. And so a lot of times, ladies, what you don't realize is that your girlfriends may be jealous of you, or a relative might be jealous of you. You follow what I'm saying? So don't think that because there's an older woman, that the older woman would not be jealous of you. Because I've heard of situations where an older woman was jealous of the younger woman, because the younger woman, all the men are after her. And so the older woman's putting all types of negative stuff in the woman's ear. You don't want to be bothering him. You don't want to be bothering him. You don't want to be bothering him. Well, she's telling you these things because the older woman's jealous of the younger woman. It is a fact. It is a fact. I'm going to tell you, and first of all, let me say fair use, fair use, fair use. There was a guy that I know. The man was telling me that his daughter was a up-and-coming model. I want you to hear very, very carefully, ladies. There's a guy that I know. He was telling me that his daughter was an up-and-coming model. I seen pictures of her. She was a very attractive woman. I think at the time she was about 15 or 16 years old. Very, very serious about putting her into the model industry, which I do not recommend at all. If you're a man or if you're a woman, I don't recommend that you have your daughter go into the modeling industry at all, because I have a background in the music industry and also as an engineer, auto engineer. And I know a lot of things about the modeling industry, the music industry, the entertainment industry. And I'm gonna just tell you honest truth. If you want your kid, you want your daughter to be wholesome, you want your daughter to not get pulled into a bunch of crap, you do not want them in the modeling industry. You don't want them you may not even want them in the music industry, the entertainment industry. You may not want them in that. But anyway, let's move on with the subject. Let me tell you. So there's a guy that I know, and this guy that I know, he was telling me he had a very, very attractive daughter. At 16 years old, she would compete, and she would be way up there. She may not have won, but she was like within the top 10. She was always in the top 10 or the top 5 ladies. She came that close to winning some of these pageants, beauty pageants. Well, anyway, from what this brother was telling me, he said his daughter was a very good looking woman. He said that some of the women in his family, some of the older women in his family were jealous of this younger woman. And so the younger woman, thinking that these older women would have the best of her interests, she's going to listen to them, because she's not going to think in her mind that these older women may be jealous of her because of her youth and because of her looks and because a lot of men are after her, even at 16 years old. She would not fathom in her mind that these older women would give her bad information. Well, let me tell you what ended up happening. This woman was on the way to being a very top model, very well-known top model. She was on her way. The older women in the family, so we're talking about blood relatives. Let me say this again, the older women in this woman's family, and we are talking about blood relatives, the aunties. The aunties were jealous of the 16-year-old daughter, the 16-year-old niece, and they were persuading her, we want you, you know, Pookie likes you. Pookie likes you and Ray Ray likes you. Why don't you talk to Pookie? He really likes you. Why don't you go over there and talk to him? Well, they kept putting in her mind to go talk to Pookie, knowing that Pookie ain't gonna be nothing, knowing that Pookie is not gonna be anything, knowing that Pookie is always into trouble, knowing that Pookie was, all he thinking about is partying and having fun and getting women pregnant, okay? So the older women in the family, the aunties, persuaded this woman who was a rising star in the modeling industry, they persuaded her to hook up with Pookie. Well, you know what happened when she hooked up with Pookie. Pookie got her pregnant. So now you're probably saying, what does that have to do with anything? Has everything to do with anything. Because the older women who were jealous of the niece, they totally derailed her modeling career. on purpose. They wanted her to get with Pookie, knowing that Pookie was going to get her pregnant, which would completely derail her modeling career because now she had to take care of a child at a young age. Follow what I'm saying? And this guy was telling me what happened. I was like, wow, are you serious? The older women in the family basically just totally destroyed her modeling career. They recommended that she would talk to Pookie knowing that Pookie was going to get her pregnant. They knew that stuff was going to happen on purpose. So what is the problem? So the point that I'm making is back on the subject that I'm talking about before, ladies. Don't think that because these older women are older women that they have your best interests, because many of them do not have your best interests. You have mothers out here right now. Many mothers are competing with their daughters. Many mothers right now are competing with their daughters. I was watching a video one particular time, and in this video, it had the mother and the daughter dressed alike. And both the mother and daughter were about to go hang out at the club. In the past, you would never see a mother and daughter hanging out at a club because it's a sign of disrespect. But in this particular situation, when you have the mother and the daughter dressed completely alike, both hanging out the club, the mother sitting up here training the daughter how to be out there in the street. That's exactly what the mother was doing. And her daughter was very attractive. The mother was a nice looking woman, but she didn't look as good as the daughter did. The body was built. The daughter had a body that was out of this world. The daughter was beautiful. The mother was beautiful. The mother had a nice look. She was nice, had a nicely shaped, but the mother didn't look like the daughter. Everybody wanted the daughter and not the mother. But the point that I'm making is this, is that the mother was hanging out at the club with the daughter. Now you might say to yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. Something is wrong with that. So the mother is looking at the daughter as her equal, or at least showing the daughter in terms of respect that the daughter is her equal and she can compete with her daughter. You see how that can be a problem? So many times, ladies, you may have an older woman that may be jealous of the younger woman, or it might even be your girlfriends that might be jealous of you. Now, back on the subject, what I was saying before, some of your girlfriends may have been responsible for you missing out on your husband several times. For example, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of how you may have missed out on your husband several times or more. You'll get with some people, they'll be 21 years old and they'll talk about, oh girl, an older woman will tell the young woman, girl, you need to have fun. You don't need to settle down. They're telling you this because they know your prime years are 18 and up. Your prime years, ladies, your prime years are from 18 to about 27. Those are your prime years. Why is 18 to 27 your prime years? Those are your prime years, your best looking years. Those are your best looking years. Look at other people like Lela Rochon. That's an example. Was one of the best. I'm one of the beautifulest African-American women out of the United States. The woman was beautiful, had a body that was out of this world, okay? You look at her picture now, and you look at her in the Boomerang movie. I think she was in the Boomerang movie with Eddie Murphy. That woman was beautiful. She was built to the max. Look at her now and look at her then. And then I think she was in her early 20s. So ladies, what am I telling you? As far as there's no such thing as a girl code, you cannot automatically assume that an older woman is giving you good advice, because that older woman might be jealous of you. The older woman knows that your prime years is like 18 years old to about 27. And then if you look at it from a medical standpoint, those are your prime years to have children. Your prime years, ladies, to have children is from 18 to about 27. Those are your prime years. Those are those years where you can have a child and then your body bounces back like nothing, okay? Now, you may have an older woman that's telling you, girl, have fun. She wants you to waste your prime years. So somebody telling you too young to get married is a lie. It's an absolute lie. If you're 21 years old and somebody's telling you too young to get married, don't listen to that mess, because the prime years for women to have children is from the ages of 18 to about 27. Did you know that there's some women that's 30 years old that can't have children? Let me say this again. Did you know that there are some women that are 30, I said 30 years old that can't have children? 30. All right? The prime years of women, especially childbearing years, is from 18 to about 27. Did you ladies know that once you hit 35, and certain medical institutions will tell the woman that at 35, she is now considered to be a high-risk pregnancy? At 35. At 35. Many medical institutions will tell a woman that at 35, you are now considered a high-risk pregnancy, which means you're going to spend more money on your doctors, you're going to spend more money on your medicine, okay? So we're going to get into that on another subject, but these are the reasons why the prime years for the ladies. So any older woman that's sitting up here telling you, oh girl, you're 21 years old, you're too young to get married, you need to go out there and have fun like we did. One of the things I like to tell many of you ladies, look at the women that's giving you the advice. Do they have a man? Probably not. Can they keep a man? If they get a man, can they keep a man? Probably not. Are they going from man to man to man? You got to look at that to see if you take their advice into consideration or not. Because a lot of older women are jealous of younger women. So if you do find somebody and you're 21 years old, 22 years old, and some older person telling you you're too young to get married, even if it's a man, don't listen to that crap, because your prime years to have a child is between 18 and 27. I just told you there's some women that's 30 years old and can't even have a child. So this is the age range to have children. This is the age range that you should be looking for a husband to be a good wife to you. Follow what I'm saying? So anyway, this is the main reason I'm talking about as to how maybe some older women or your girlfriends may have caused you to miss out on your husband. You may have met your husband at 21 years old. You may have met your husband or husbands numerous times. But you may have been around a girlfriend or so that may have been jealous of the fact that somebody's talking to you instead of talking to her. Follow what I'm saying? That person may be jealous of the fact that somebody's talking to you instead of them talking to her. And henceforth, since they're talking to you, she's jealous about the fact. And she's going to tell you everything, put all types of stuff in your ear to tell you, leave that guy alone. He's a dusty. And that guy might have a degree. The guy might have a good paying job. The guy might be in an excellent position to be looking for a wife. He may be looking for a wife. And you just rejected the guy based upon the fact that your girlfriend said, girl, leave him alone. Leave him alone. You don't need to be bothering him. Girl, you need to have fun. And then you listen to an older woman telling you, God, you're too young to get married. You need to have fun like we had fun. But you look at the older women, you find out they ain't got no man, or they keep going through men and can't keep a man. There's a problem with that. Okay, so once again, there's no such thing as a girl code. There's no such thing as a girl code. There's no such thing as a girl code. And your girlfriends may have caused you to miss out on your husband numerous times, because you probably met your husband numerous times when you were in your 20s, and your girlfriend or girlfriends, plural, have caused you to miss out on your blessing. Peace.